the first thing I thought when I saw this was that kid's not discipline he needs, it's kidnap. That's his best chance in life.
It is really. But I mean, some people they should know that they shouldn't get involved in documentaries. You know, it's like, I can't imagine Fred West letting Through the Keyhole go to his house. Yeah. or even better, Fred West on Wife Swap. Now that would have been interesting.
I think Fred West would let him in.
Yeah. But it's a mistake. It's a mistake of that order that they make, I think.
Now, the next clip we got is Henry Carew, and he's talking about the lineage of his family. He comes from a very ancient family, and what's particularly interesting about this is you see that he's distantly related to Mickey Mouse.
Been a few villains around. Banfield Hall Carew was perhaps the most notorious. Been some good chaps too. And then there was the Admiral of the Fleet, who unfortunately had the Mary Rose go down underneath him. That wasn't too popular. But the family have been around a long time.
I mean, he's been stitched up there.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've got to feel... I mean, I'm sure the director didn't say, just take a drag of your cigarette at the end. And try to look as pleased with yourself as you possibly can.
Yeah. But I can imagine he was standing there going, just move over to the left a bit. He didn't get suspicious at all. They'd rather maybe go... move to the right a bit more. And towards the end of the documentary, they're not catching any fish, they're drunk. Right.
This is the culmination of the whole thing. This is the brilliant thing. Because they go on and on and on about how Britain's going to the dogs, about how discipline and breeding are the important things, how to behave properly, the things that are missing from people who aren't like them. And then by the end of the last day, they're on the boat, they've had a few drinks, and this is what they do.
Yeah.
And it's just a brilliant ending to the documentary.
Oh, piss off!
It's astonishing.
The thing I find most interesting about the end bit is why they had the guns on board. I could only think they thought that there may be pirates in Scotland.
Yeah.
This is their only worry.
I don't know, I wonder whether they're the sort of people who just, whatever they're doing, they take guns.
Yeah.
Game of squash, got a racket and a 12-ball.
Yeah. Well, you never know, do you?
But you're a very keen fisherman, aren't you?
I do actually like fishing.
You love fishing, and when you're not fishing, you're quite happy to watch it on the television.
I am. It's a little bit of a guilty secret, but as I say, I watch a lot of television, and one of the things I do watch are fishing programmes, and I watch them more in hope than expectation, because they are uniformly pretty bad. But the only great thing about it is that they can't really afford any decent music, and they do tend to pump themselves up quite a lot. So they talk about, and now after the break, more rod-bending action with Midstream. And it's all people going like that with their rods. But the great thing is that the music is slightly reminiscent of sort of 70s porn. Because they can't really afford it. So there's something a little bit, I call it fish porn. That's what I call it. I'll say to my wife, I'm just going to watch a couple of hours of fish porn. Because it's sort of a little bit surreptitious, a little bit sleazy, a little bit seedy, and the music just tops it off.
We got a clip of some here.
Oh, right on the top of the bank, cow breathing right down my forearm, and that chub, I just watched it sucking a free-lined, big, black, juicy slug. And let me tell you, that is the reason that you go chub fishing. All action, all excitement, you cannot beat it. Fantastic. I'll tell you what, chub fishing is a bit like bad sex. It's all over very, very quickly.
See, and that is fish porn in a nutshell. Brilliant. Talking about the little black slug. Ooh, look at the chub coming in. The music's going. It's fish porn! And it's very best.
It does resemble porn in the sense that you don't see the hours and hours and hours waiting for them to catch a fish. You just cut to the action.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in a porn film, you're not going to see a pizza guy deliver 1,000 pizzas
before
he gets a threesome. You know, if you showed every time you turn up a pizza, say thanks very much, shut the door.
And also they're missing out. I mean, the whole thing about fishing is it's the joy of being on your own, being in the countryside. It's the moment. It has to be in the moment. None of these things can you put onto television. It's like, you know, sometimes you're driving around, you're desperate for car parking space, and you see one. And that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
But it's not something you're going to make a television programme about.
No, no. Unless it was dogging. Well, it's very similar. Dogging's quite similar, because you spend hours out in the countryside, don't
That's
you?
true.
You definitely catch something.
Never quite sure what you're going to get, yeah.
Yeah. And you've got the dilemma. Do I kill him or do I let him go? Do you want to see some more fish porn?
Yeah, I'll see some more fish porn. I'm always happy to see more fish porn.
He goes on, he gets a bit more intimate with the fish.
Yeah, well, they usually do. They like to handle the fish. They like to handle the fish.
There we have it. As I say, not a giant fish, but quite a pleasing fish. Thank you.
And you know, if he caught that at night, the way that mouth was going, you know. I'm not saying he would have done it. It had crossed his mind.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure if it was a tench with all the slime on, he'd have been in there. Not something I myself do, but I've seen it happen.
Well, thanks for that, because you've brought me to levels I didn't know I was capable of.
Thank you very much.
Well, in revenge, I want to show you something.
Yeah.
It's a show, I think, that's up to the fishing porn. It's Blizzard's Wizard Woodwork. Have a look at this.
It's a matte coat polyurethane varnish, and I don't use a brush. I use a cloth, lint-free, and I dip it in. And this is a nasty substance. You don't want to get too much of this on your hands either. And rub that into the handle. You look already, that handle's coming alive. Look at that beautiful, rich red colour at the bottom.
Gotta say, it's bye-bye fishing rods, hello Ron Seal for me.
Well, thanks, Nick, for that glimpse into your TV heaven, Telly Hell. And on this show, we like to see ourselves as the seal knot of television. We can reenact any moment in TV history for you. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Well, I think as you were so disparaging about it, I might do a bit of fishing for you. If I may.
Bit of fish porn.
A bit of fish porn.
OK, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Hancock. Have you been in trouble? Capital punishment.